Welcome to our 5 on 5. Pleased to welcome back Merv George, the Forest Supervisor for Rogue River Siskiyou National Forest. Good to see you, sir. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
I know how busy you are right now. So you did a TEDx event earlier this week, but we got a lot to talk about right now. We're going to give you a little more time than that. Do you know approximately, of course, how much of your forest burned in last year's fire season?
So last year's fire season started basically in the beginning of July. We had a fire down on the border, which was called the Klamathon, that ultimately threatened our lands but never reached us. And then our fires officially started on July 15th. We had over 100 fires on and near the Rogue River Siskiyou National Forest as a result of all this lightning.
Yes.
As a result of all those, we had approximately 300,000 acres of fire that was on and near our forest last year.
Okay, and how, last year was your first fire season with Rogue River Siskiyou National Forest.
With this forest,
With
correct.
this forest, yes. How does that compare to your previous experiences with the Forest Service in other forests?
So last year we hosted 47 incident management teams, which is the most that I've ever in my career hosted in one fire season. We had over 15,000 firefighters that came from all over the world to come and help keep people in southwestern Oregon safe.
Yeah.
We had a lot of busy fire. You know, and so I think there's a theme that's developing across our country as we're starting to see longer, more intense wildfires and wildfire seasons. And so it's forcing us as land managers to really take a look at what's going on.
Why do you think that is?
So there's a combination of things, in my opinion. First of all, we have had an absence, a noticeable absence of good fire, which is fire that is low intense and on the landscapes when it's safe to have it. So typically in the fall, typically in the drier winter months, when you have cooler temperatures and you have a lot more resources to throw at it if the thing decides to get a little active. We've had an absence of fire, prescribed burning for over 100 years in our country because we've been really good at suppressing fires. So as a result of being really good at suppressing fires, we have a fuels issue now. We also have a fuels issue because organizations like ours have planted a lot of trees over the years and have created these tree gardens. You know, after World War II, our organization had a mission of basically providing America with a lot of its trees so that it could create lumber so that we could build homes across our country. So we've converted a lot of our forests to tree gardens. And when you don't go in there and you maintain them, you also can contribute to the fuels problem. So I think the issue is complicated. It's taken us 100 years to get to the situation that we're at now, and it's going to take us a little bit of time, but I'm optimistic about the future.
Okay, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Much more in just a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to our 5 on 5. Again, we're here with Merv George. He's the Forest Supervisor for Rogue River Siskiyou National Forest. A lot of fire on your lands this last year, as we talked about. But were any homes lost?
No.
Interesting. Okay. Are you guys going to do anything different this year in managing wildfires?
So one of the things that I learned last year when we had over 100 fires going on at the same time as a result of all the lightning strikes, I wasn't so much worried about the fires that were located near the cities because I knew we were, with our partners, going to have enough resources to throw at it. It was the fire that was located in the Kalmiopsis wilderness was the one that I worried about last year because I knew if we didn't catch it in initial attack, that one had the opportunity to grow large, and which it did, as a result of not being a high priority because it wasn't immediately threatening lives and people's homes. And so one of the things that I may do differently may be to try harder to get more resources should we get a similar situation where we have a lot of fires across the landscape and we know that we have a backcountry fire that 2 years in a row we know is going to come out at the end of summer and threaten some communities. I may try a lot harder to get resources to a backcountry fire that others may not see as an immediate threat.
Interesting. Okay, and in case people didn't see part one of this interview, last year was your first year with the Rogue River Siskiyou National Forest. Is air quality something that you need to be concerned about? Because as you say, these fires may be far away and not threatening lives, but they're affecting the air of pretty much all the residents, maybe some of the residents near your area. How does that affect how you guys approach things?
Absolutely. When you have that much fire on the landscape and you have it for a long duration, there is no doubt that it has health effects. The other part of it is it's social political. When you have that much smoke in the air, who's going to want to come and tour here? And when you lose those tourists that come to southwestern Oregon, to maybe they're recreating on the rivers, maybe they're coming to fill up the RV parks, they're coming to just enjoy the backcountry area to recreate. When you lose that, there's a huge economic impact to our area. So the smoke is not only a health and safety issue, it is also one that touches us in all of our business communities. So it's something that's always on the minds of us when we're dealing with these kinds of fires.
Okay, so I told you we might try and do this. I think I'm going to go for it. I'm only on page 1 of my questions. We're going to come back tomorrow and continue the conversation now, but we'll ask people to come back and join us tomorrow. We'll continue the interview with Merv George. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Yep.
All right, stay with us.